Hello learners, I welcome you all to today's session. Right now we have the session for data entry operations course for senior secondary students, and in this session we will be covering the topic basics of spreadsheets. A spreadsheet is a software application, a very useful software application I must say, which helps you to enter data, organize data, analyze data. It even helps you to create charts, pivot tables, analyze through comparisons, a very useful application which is used in various organizations and institutions throughout the world. So today for our learners we have this session, how to start working with spreadsheets. So in this session, we'll first begin with a brief introduction on spreadsheets, what all spreadsheets are available, and then we move on to live interaction, illustrations on MS Excel, right? So I'll just share my screen so that we can have the presentation here, the slideshow here. So we'll be covering basic of spreadsheets. Before we actually start working on spreadsheets, we will just have a quick look at what all topics we'll be covering today. We'll be talking about spreadsheets, of course. Then we'll be giving a brief introduction to MS Excel, one of the most commonly used spreadsheets. Then we move on to how to manage worksheets. We create a spreadsheet, we enter data. After entering the data, what all can be done to make our data more presentable, more understandable to the user or to the viewer, that we'll learn in this particular session. Then we learn how to enter and edit data, how to save a file, how to freeze panes, a very useful feature, we'll see to it. How to do page setup and printing of worksheets, and how to protect a worksheet, how to give passwords so that my data is safe from malicious users. First and foremost, we'll discuss various features of spreadsheets. As I mentioned before, a spreadsheet is a software application which helps us to enter, organize the data. So what all features makes it useful for its users? We have the auto sum. Automatically, we can add certain set of numbers which makes it easy for us to see the result. Autofill feature which helps us to fill a particular series in a spreadsheet. A wizard. A wizard is a step-by-step execution of a particular process. So spreadsheet gives us various wizards. The most common wizard is the chart wizard. Then you have drag and drop feature. We'll be doing most of the features today so that you get a hold of the spreadsheet application. You have charts. You have various shortcut menus which helps us to use the tools available in a spreadsheet. These tools are the commands that work on the data that is entered in a spreadsheet. Then we have auto shapes. If you want to enter some drawings or some shapes, arrows or circles or rectangles, those also can be entered through this particular spreadsheets. Now there are various spreadsheets available. We started this, if I go a few years, in fact around 20-25 years back, we had Lotus 123, one of the initial spreadsheet applications. Today if we see, we have OpenOffice Calc, we have MS Excel. Today in this session, we'll be we'll be learning using the MS Excel spreadsheet tool. It is part of MS Office suite, and to start MS Excel you can go through programs, or you can simply say click on start menu and choose Excel. Now here I would like to mention that various versions of MS Office have been coming over a period of time. Right now, today, I'll be working with MS Office 2016 version. So although the basic application remains the same, yet with the change in version, certain properties, certain features, the way to use a tool, minor changes in the interface happen. So all the learners who are not using 2016 might see minor changes from what we see today to what you have on your machine, may it be a laptop or may it be a desktop. So don't worry, it's just a minor change in the interface. The basic application remains the same, right? So before we move on to the live illustration part, I would like to show you the Excel interface and discuss its components in brief. So this is the ribbon. This part which is over the spreadsheet, on the top portion of the spreadsheet, is the ribbon. This ribbon contains the menus, it contains various tools. These tools help me to work on my data. When I say work, it helps me to edit, it helps me to format, it helps me to create tables in the manner that I want, helps me to create charts and many other things. So this ribbon is, you can say, a small powerhouse of this particular application, right? Below this ribbon, you have the actual work area where you can see the row and column format. You have the actual work area. This work area, as you can see, is divided into rows and columns, right? So these are the row numbers. On the left side of the screen, these are the row numbers. Row numbers start with 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And on top here you can see these are the column headings. Column headings start with A, B, C, D and so on. So every cell that you see, every cell is a combination of row and column. And this combination is the name of the cell. This name can be seen in name box. See, you can see here, this is the name box. At present, my cell E1 is active cell. Active cell means the cell where I can start working as of now. If I start typing, on which cell will the data be printed? That is the active cell. So at present, the cell which is in E column and 1 row is active. So this is the active cell and the address of this cell you can see in the name box here, right? So this is the name box which gives me the address of the active cell, and here you have the formula bar. This formula bar shows the content of the cell. Whatever I will write in the cell, that content is shown in the formula bar, right? Then you have various sheet tabs. Down below in the worksheet, you will see sheet 1 written here. When you open 2016 interface for the first time, you will see that sheet 1 is here. This sheet 1 is the active sheet. Please understand that MS Excel is a collection of worksheets and we call it a workbook. A collection of worksheets is called a workbook. As in the same manner as in a document you have multiple pages, similarly in a workbook you have multiple sheets. So at present I am working in sheet 1. If I want, I can add more sheets by clicking on this plus sign. When I will go to the Excel interface, we'll do the live illustrations, then I'll show you actually how this is done. At present, this is the sheet tab which shows the name of the sheet, the currently active sheet, and if I want to add more sheets, I can click on plus sign here, right? Then you have on the right side the vertical scroll bar. This helps you to move up and down in a worksheet, and you have horizontal scroll bar which helps you to move left and right in a worksheet. So if your worksheet, the data in your worksheet extends the length and breadth of the screen, then you can scroll up and down or left and right to view your data. Right? These are the basic components of MS Excel interface. We'll be seeing these components. I'll be referring to these components from time to time in my session. Right? So now let's move on to an Excel interface. So what will be exactly making there? What data will be presenting today in that particular interface? So I've chosen this data. All of you are familiar with this data, right? All of you are learners of an iOS. So this is the schedule that you get on daily basis. So this particular data can be very easily made in MS Excel. Today we'll try to make this data only in MS Excel. We'll make columns which will be time, subject, topic, expert, and rows will be each record. Like this is one row, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Economics. What is economics? Lakshmi Kaushik. This is one row. And time, subject, topic, expert, these are columns. So let's move on to MS Excel and let's have this table created today. So I'll just escape this and I move on to Excel. When you open Excel, this is the interface that you see. Right? As I told you in my presentation, the upper portion is the ribbon. This is the ribbon. This is the title bar where you can see that spreadsheet example Excel. This is the title bar. Then you have the name box. If you keep your mouse pointer over this for some time, you will see that the tooltip appears. This tooltip tells what this particular tool is or what this particular component of the worksheet is. Right? So this is the name box, the formula bar. Then you have rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. You have columns and here below you have the sheet tab. I'll just zoom my screen a bit so that things are more clear now. It will be more visible to my learners. You can see the column headings A, B, C, D, E, F. The rows 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the name box. See the tooltip name box has appeared. Then you have the formula bar, right? So let's try creating a table. And this is the sheet tab that I was talking about. You click this plus sign, another sheet will be added. See, another sheet is added here, right? So if I want to enter data in a particular cell in a sheet, this right now I am in cell A1. So you can see that in the name box also A1 is written, right? Now suppose I want to type data in a particular cell, then I type, say suppose telecast details, right? And I want to type the date and say I type today's date, right? And I have, say suppose the column heading as serial number, as time, then I have, say, subject, topic, name of the expert, right? So I can put serial number 1, time as, say suppose 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. right? Subject, say suppose I type economics, right? Then topic, I say what is economics, I type the name of the expert. So whatever data you want to type, click on that cell and just type it. Click on that cell, the cell that you click on, that becomes your active cell, right? Click on that cell and type, just type. Now here, one thing you must be noticing, that number 1 is aligned towards the right, right? And if I type any textual data, say for example, I have typed ABC, this is aligned to the left. Same thing is happening here also, but since here the data is larger than the cell size, the column size, so you are not able to exactly see it. I'll show you when we extend the length of the row and column. But what I want to tell you as of now is that data is of various types. Data can be numerical data like serial number, roll number, marks, quantity, price. This is numerical data. Then data can be textual data, for example, your name, the name of the expert, the topic. All this is textual data, which is the set of characters. Data can be date, like I have typed here. Data can be time, right? So the numerical data is always right aligned. So that means if you type 120, see, it is right aligned. But if you type ABC, it is left aligned. On numerical data, you can do arithmetic calculations, right? All the arithmetic calculations, may it be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or calculating mean, median, mode, all these things can be done only on numerical data. Right? So that thing we should be very careful about, and we should always keep in mind what type of data we are entering in a particular cell and how we should work on that data. Right? So that thing has to be kept in mind while creating a worksheet. So we can complete this worksheet by typing, by entering other records as well. I have made a sheet ready here. See, this is the sheet which is ready. I'll zoom in so that I'll zoom out so that it is more visible to you. Right? So this is today's telecast details. I'm sure all my learners must have seen this table. But seeing this table, it seems a very simple table and the data is not visible completely. So I need to do some changes in this worksheet. I need to make it more presentable, right? So that it is more understandable by the viewer, by the person who is seeing your data or who wants to analyze your data. So first and foremost, I would like to fit in the text that I have. Say economics is not completely visible, or what is economics is not completely visible. I want this text to be completely visible. There are various ways to do this. We'll first start with adjusting the column width. Simplest method is bring your mouse pointer to the border of that particular column and click and drag. See, click and drag. Right? Similarly, if you want to increase this, simply click and drag. So you can see that I am able to increase the length of my particular, the width of my column, so that my data is able to fit in that particular column. Right? Similarly, you can even change the row height by clicking and dragging. Bring your mouse pointer to the border of the row which you need to modify, whose width or whose height you need to modify, and simply click and drag. And the width and the height of the column and the row respectively can be changed. Right? In this manner, you can make sure that your entire data is visible in your worksheet. Right? See, now my entire time schedule, which was not seen before, is visible in my worksheet. Right? Now, this is my worksheet. You can see that sheet 2 is written here. The name of my sheet is sheet 2. I want to modify it. I want to give my own name to my sheet. I simply double click and I type, say, telecast details. Right? So you can have multiple sheets in one workbook, in one file of MS Excel, and you can give the names that you want so that it's easy for you to remember which sheet is containing which details. Right? So this is a very good feature. Say for example, you are working in a school and being a teacher, you have multiple sections. You want to or say your teacher gives you to store records of students of multiple sections. So you can create a sheet for each section, give it a name and store the data in that particular sheet. Right? And this entire sheet can be saved, this entire workbook can be saved under one name. So one file contains data of multiple classes in my workbook. Right? So this is how I change the row and column width of my table, of my worksheet, so that my data can be entered and can be viewed by the user. Then we move on to further features. Say even I want to edit data in my worksheet. I want to change, say suppose this serial number, I want to write as serial number incomplete. So how do you do that? How do you edit the data that is there in the worksheet? You click on that particular cell. This becomes the active cell now, and start typing. See, serial number. Just click. I want to change this. I want to write, say suppose allotted time. Click and type. Right? Now this is complete modification of the cell. Means I want to change the entire data of the cell. Suppose I want to do partial modification. I don't want to change the data, the value or the data entered in the cell completely. I want to partially change it. Then click on that particular cell and click on the formula bar. You will see that the cursor appears and you can make the partial change. It becomes serial number. Right? So this is how you partially change the content of the cell, or you completely change the content of the cell. Whatever manner suits you. Even there is a shortcut key which helps you for modification, and that is F2. If I press F2, see, I just pressed F2, the cursor appears inside the cell itself. I can change it. I can change the contents of my cell. Right? So, to modify the contents of the cell, click the cell. If the contents are to be modified completely, start typing. The previous contents will be overwritten and the new content comes in. If you feel that no, only partially the contents have to be changed, then either press F2, that is one thing where the cursor appears inside the cell, or make the cell as the active cell by clicking it, click on the formula bar and you can erase and type the portion that you want to edit. Right? So this is how you can edit data in a cell. Now while editing data, one thing which you should always remember is the undo and redo option. Many times it happens that we have made a change accidentally or by mistake. It should not have been done, but it is done. For example, I type here 10, which should not have been. So instead of erasing it and typing it again, I can simply click on the undo button. It is on the top left corner, the undo button. I click. See, it becomes 1 again. Right? I type 10 again. So either you click this, which is the undo button on top left corner, or you can also press Ctrl plus Z. This is the shortcut key for undo. Right? So if you feel that you have accidentally edited a particular content of a cell, you don't want to edit it, you want to revert back to the original one, you can undo it by either clicking on the undo button or pressing Ctrl plus Z, or you want to redo it, right? Then you can click on the redo button, or you can say press Ctrl plus Y. Say for example, this is the redo button, redo typing 10. So if I click it, 10 comes again. If I say undo, it comes back to 1. Right? So this is again, these two are very useful buttons, especially when we are working on a worksheet. It happens that by mistake we have edited the wrong cell, or we have entered something in the cell that should not have been there. So undo and redo options really help me to save my job of deleting it and then typing it again. So if I say undo, the previous things comes back again. Right? So this is how you enter data, edit it. You can use undo and redo options in a spreadsheet. Then you have how to modify a worksheet. You have created this particular worksheet. You want to modify. One way of modification was to increase the column width or to increase the row height. That we have done. We have seen how it is done, right? But there are other situations also where I would require to modify a worksheet. For example, I would like to insert a row somewhere in between. I would like to insert a column somewhere in between. Say for example, I want to insert a column by the name of duration. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns in my worksheet, but I want another column by the name of duration. So how do I do that? I'm on the home tab. See, right now I'm on the home tab. On the home tab, in the cells group, I click on insert. Right? And it asks me, you want to insert cells, or you want to insert sheets, or you want to insert columns. Right? So as I want to insert a column, so I click on insert sheet column. See, a new column has come. Right? And I want to give it a name, say duration, hours, and say 1 hour duration, or again all are 1 hour duration, suppose. I have inserted a new column in a worksheet. Okay. Similarly, you can also insert a new row in a worksheet. How do we do that? In the same manner, we click on the cell above which the row has to be inserted. We click on insert and we click on insert sheet rows. See, click on insert sheet row. See, a blank row has come up, and I can add my data here. So it's not that once you have created a worksheet, you cannot add tables into, you cannot add columns into it, or you cannot add row into it. It's a very, very flexible and user-friendly application. You can edit, modify it as many times as you want. Once, suppose you have added it, you want to delete a particular row or you want to delete a particular column. Click on the row or the column that you want to delete. You can even delete multiple columns, multiple rows and multiple columns by selecting. Right? Select the delete option. Say delete sheet rows. I want to delete row numbers 7 and 8. See row numbers 7 and 8. I have selected row numbers 7 and 8. So if I want to delete them, I simply click on delete sheet rows. See the rows have been deleted. I feel ki, oh no, this was an accidental deletion. I shouldn't have done it. So I no need to panic. I simply click on undo button. See it's back. Right? I should have deleted only one row, but accidentally I deleted two rows. So there is no need to panic. You can simply click on undo button. The last action of deletion has been undone. I will now delete only one row here. I click on delete and I click on delete sheet rows. So you see that particular row has been deleted. Similarly, I want to delete this column. I click on the column that I want to delete. I click delete option here and I say delete sheet columns. Right? So to modify a worksheet, I can modify the length, I can modify the width, I can insert a new column, I can insert a new row, I can delete a new column, I can delete a new row. In fact, I can also add or I can also insert and delete the cells as well. Say for example, right now, as of now, this is my active cell and I want to insert another cell. Now inserting a cell will definitely affect my table. So your application asks that if you are inserting a cell here, would you like to shift the cells down, right, left, wherever? So I say shift the cells down. This option is selected. I say shift the cells down. I say OK. See, a new cell has been deleted and the entire range of cells have been shifted down. This is how I can even insert a single cell in a worksheet if I want. I want to delete a cell. I select that particular cell. I click on delete and I say delete cells. So it asks me, you want to shift cells up, left, right, you want to shift the entire row, the entire column. I say simply shift the cells up. That's it. And OK. And I'm back. Right? So using Excel, you can even insert or delete a particular cell of a worksheet. Right? Now, you must be noticing since the time we have seen this particular worksheet that entire data is not visible. Right? Entire data is not visible in my particular worksheet. So what do I do so that entire data may be visible? Although I have there's something called format options, but we can simply use wrap text. See now entire data is visible in this particular cell. In previous versions, say if you are not using 2016, you are using the older versions, then you might find an auto fit button in the home tab. Right, that is not present as of now. In the home tab, in the format section, you have auto fit button which helps me to fit the data of a particular cell so that the entire content of the cell is visible. As of now, I am using the wrap text feature. See, I can view. You feel कि no, I want this thing to be visible completely, so I can do that. So this is how you do the wrap text feature, which will help you to view the entire content of the cell at one go. You need not scroll it or you need not see in the formula bar what is visible. Right? So this is the wrap text feature. which helps me to view. Then you have, say suppose you want to copy the column width. I'll just zoom in a bit so that I would like to show you how to copy and paste. So this is my cell as of now, and I want to copy the width of this cell to some other place. As of now, this is the width of my cell, right? I want the column G should be as wide as column B is. Means I want to copy the width of column B to column G. So how do I do that? I click on column D. I say copy. You will see that a dotted line appears here. Right? That means the content of this particular cell has been copied to the clipboard. Now I click on the cell or a column, a cell in the column where I want the width to be copied. And instead of saying simple paste, if I click on simple paste, this content will be copied. I don't want the content to be copied. I want the width to be copied. So I click on the arrow just below this paste and I click on keep source column width. See. Now see, it is copied along with the width. Whatever is the width of B, that same width is of G along with the copied value. So the value is copied along with the source width. Right? In fact, I would like to brief my learners that this paste special, it is not, your Excel application does not give you the feature to only copy the contents. Your Excel application gives you the feature to copy whatever you want, and the paste special option here summarizes that. You can copy formulas, you can copy values, you can copy formats, right? You may copy column width and so on. So you can vary the data, the formatting, the formulas that you want to copy from one place to another, one cell to another, one worksheet to another worksheet, or one workbook to another workbook. Right? Your Excel application even gives you the option to skip blank cells. You can see there's a checkbox here by the name skip blanks. If you check this particular checkbox, then when the data is being copied, if there is any blank cell, then that will be ignored. It will not be copied. So paste special really gives a lot of flexibility to the data being copied. Really helps कि yes, I can restrict कि मुझे what all I want to copy, what I don't want to. It may not always be the case that I want to copy the data only, or I want to copy the values only. No. I might like to copy some formatting, I might like to copy formulas, I might like to copy the validations put, the conditions put, I might like to copy the operations done on data, add, modify, delete, and so on. Right? So this is a very useful feature when I am trying to copy data from one cell to another cell, or from one row to another row, or one worksheet to another worksheet, and so on. Right? Now we come to next feature, that is freeze panes. When I was discussing the objectives, then also I told that freeze panes is a very useful feature of a worksheet. Now what is freeze panes? Say for example, your data in a worksheet ranges to say 50 columns or 60 columns or 50-60 rows. Now in a screen at one point of time, I'm just filling the row numbers to just make my learners understand the concept. Now see, at one point of time on the screen, I can view only say till serial number 11, right? But my data extends to say 50 or 100 or say 500 or thousands of rows. I want that if I scroll down, my upper portion which contains my uh, column headings, that should be there only, so that I should remember which column is containing which information. As of now, if I scroll down, point of time, I am not able to view the column headings. But I want to view the column headings even though I scroll down. So if I want, I can freeze this set of the worksheet, this portion of the worksheet. Once I freeze this portion of the worksheet, then this portion will remain intact. Say for example, I'll show you how to do that. To freeze panes, you click on the row till which you want to freeze, and then you click on view menu. In the view menu, you have the freeze panes option in the Windows group of button. This is the window group of button, and you have freeze panes option. Click on the arrow and you have freeze panes option. Click it. Once you click it, see what happens. There's a small line. My viewers might not be able to see it clearly. I'll zoom it a bit more. So you can see that there's a small, very minor line below this. Now if I scroll down, see the upper portion is frozen. It is fixed. It is there. I want to remove this. I click again. I say unfreeze. I want to freeze from this place. So I say freeze panes. Now see, even though I am scrolling down, the upper portion is frozen. The first 3 rows are frozen. So I know, even though I may scroll down till hundreds of rows, I know which column heading is there for a particular piece of data, for a particular cell. So it helps me to keep track of my column headings along with my data. Right? This is what is freeze panes. Very useful feature if I am handling large volume of data. Right? If I am handling large volume of data, then this really becomes a very useful feature. I have frozen rows. Similarly, I can freeze columns as well. Say for example, I unfreeze and I want to freeze this particular column. So I click on the arrow, I say freeze first column. Now see what happens. See, even though the entire data is scrolling, but the serial number column is frozen. That particular column is there intact. So I know that no matter how much I may scroll horizontally, yet I know that I am viewing the data for serial number 1. So when you have large volume of data, this freeze pane option comes out to be very handy, very useful. Right? So at present, I'll just unfreeze this so that my worksheet is back to normal. So I've unfrozen the panes. Now if I scroll down, I'll not be able to see what is the freeze panes option of MS Excel. Right? Then we move on to next feature, again a useful feature, and that is how to save and print. Before going to printing, I'll just have a brief look at page layout. When you go for printing, you can set the margins, you can set the orientation. You want your worksheet in portrait or in landscape mode. You can set the size of the paper, the area of the, you may not like to print the entire worksheet, you may like to print only the part of the worksheet. You can select that particular area. So using these page setup options, you can set how your worksheet will come out when you print it, right? So before you actually go for printing, you should always just go through these options and see are they according to your need or not. Once you have set these options, then you go to file, save the file first, right? Then if you want to print it, click on print. See, if you click on print, your worksheet is visible here. How your worksheet will look when you print it, the preview is shown here. So if you feel that no, the preview is not what you wanted, then you can always go back. This is the back arrow. You can do the changes that you want in the worksheet. Say I would like to change the orientation to landscape, suppose. Once you are done, save the file again, go back to file menu and click on print. See the preview. Now this is the landscape view of the worksheet. Once you are satisfied, yes, this is the right view of the worksheet that I would like to print, then you select the number of copies that you want to print, select the printer, choose the number of pages if you want, or right now I am having just one sheet, so I say print active sheet. Again, orientation, we did how to do that from the page layout menu. You can do here also, right? Size of the page can be set here also. Margins of the page can be set here also. So you have one option in the page layout, but before going for printing also, you are given these options. You can choose any of the options and then click on print. If the printer is connected, the sheet will be printed, right? So this is about creating a worksheet, modifying a worksheet, entering data in a worksheet, freezing the panes, then doing the page setup, saving, printing. Once you have saved a worksheet, you have closed it using the close option here, and you want to view it again, you want to open it again. Open MS Excel and click on open option and select the file that you want to open, and that file will be opened, right? As of now I don't want to open, so I am working on this very worksheet. So this is how you can work on a particular worksheet. Before leaving, I would like to just tell my learners how to protect your data. We all know how much data protection is important these days. So to protect your data, you should password protect your file. Always, when the data is sensitive, when the data is confidential, you don't want anybody else to view your data without your permission, then you should always password protect it. So you click on file, you click on info. Info option has got various sub options. Click on protect workbook, right? And then click encrypt with password. It will ask you the password. Type the password. Say OK. It will ask you to re-enter the same password again. Enter the same password again. Please understand that if you don't enter the same password here, it will flash an error. Both the instances, you should enter the same password. Click on OK. So it has given you a message that a password is required to open this workbook. Now, if you close this file and you try to open it again, then a password has to be given to open this particular workbook. All my learners must understand that data security is very important. So, to secure your data, passwords are the easiest option. You should always password protect your files, especially when your system is being shared by multiple users. It's always safe, right? So this is the last topic that we covered, and I would like to end my session on a note that it's a very useful application. We all should start working on it. Whenever you have data to be stored, to be organized, you should work in spreadsheets. It gives you varied tools, varied features to organize data in the manner that you want. In the consecutive sessions, in the coming sessions, we might take more features. This is just the beginning, just the basics of spreadsheets, where we have just learned how to start working on a spreadsheet, how to start storing data in a spreadsheet. But it has got many applications. We can draw charts of the data that has been entered. So I hope this session is useful for my learners, and it will help my learners to begin working on spreadsheets. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.